So, you want to customise your paperback novel format. Hi, my name's Juliet, and today I'm going to show you how to do that for your titles, text, and headers and footers in a basic novel format. There have been a few tweaks to the compile screen since I recorded my videos on this last year. To access the formatting options, double-click on the central panel in Compile, or right-click on the format in the list and select Duplicate and Edit Format. At the top of the screen, give your format a name, and if you want it to appear in all projects, select My Formats. In the box, you'll see a list of formatting options down the left and the different section layouts on the right. You'll have to change each individually. That shouldn't be too much of a problem with a basic novel. You'll probably only have a title and a text layout to change, as front matter is as is, unless of course you want to change the font. Let's start with how to change titles. Select the title layout you've applied to your manuscript. It will be in bold in the list. A representation will appear in a box below it. Click onto the title text within the box. You'll see there are a number of tabs above the text, and the first one is all about your normal formatting options. So you can change font size, alignment, bold, italics, etc., and line spacing, including spacing before and after. You can also choose a different style from the list instead. Obviously, doing things individually gives you more options. Under title options, you can change the text to uppercase, lowercase, and title case, plus small caps. You can also add text before the title, for example, if you've chosen one that's just a number and won't show upper and lowercase text, and a font that's permanently uppercase. New Pages has options for the amount of padding before, which, personally, I wouldn't worry about, as I'd probably make a style in Word based on my title, and deal with that kind of spacing there. The capitalisation option here is not for titles, so we'll look at that again in the text section. Prefixes and suffixes aren't relevant here, and settings is for main text, so let's save the changes and see what happens. Well, the first thing is that you'll see your new format pops up in the list. Then you'll see the representation in the central panel change to match the alterations to the format. OK, let's go back in and deal with the text. Once again, find the bold section text in the list of section layouts and click on the text block to make the changes. You will likely want to change the font and possibly the font size. If you have previous books not generated from Scrivener and you want this one to match, I would suggest you look at the line spacing option in Word for one of those books. It isn't usually a straight single line spacing. Then go into the line spacing option and type the same thing in under the multiple setting. It would be odd to have block paragraphs in a novel, or extra spacing, or anything else, but you can change indents and have block paragraphs if you want. Simply click on the text and change the indent on the ruler, and then add extra spacing after the text. If you go to the New Pages tab, you can add capitalised words at the beginning of chapters. And in the Settings tab, you can change the indent behaviour. If you've manually chosen block paragraphs, the standard setting works fine. If you've used a combined title and text layout, it works the same way. You just have to click onto either the title or the text to be able to change that element. Headers and footers have preset options too, So to change them, choose Page Settings from the list on the left. Down the bottom, you'll see the strange choice of a different font for the header and the footer. Click on the very big button bars to change them to what you require. You shouldn't need to change the text. That will be your author name and title taken from the metadata section in Compile. However, if you do, go to the Header and Footer Text tab. The sections you'll most likely want to change here are main body and facing pages. Change what's there by overtyping, but be careful not to overtype the number field in the footer unless you don't want numbering, which would, it has to be said, be unusual. I think that's all you really need to change in Scrivener before compiling to Microsoft Word. Any other changes should be done there, where you can see exactly what the final output will look like. However, if you want to know how to make a format for a different trim size, check out this video here.